Alright, let's break it down. Is this new Babysitters Club show good or not? It's Kristen, and today we are talking about the first season of the brand new Babysitters Club series coming to Netflix. Based on the legendary franchise by Ann M. Martin, this series is a contemporary adaptation that follows the friendships and adventures of a group of best friends as they form their own babysitting business. This series is brought to us by Rachel Schuchert and Lucia Aniello, best known for their work on Glow and Broad City respectively. We're going to be diving into everything you need to know about this new series, but if you're curious about the history of the Babysitters Club, I actually did a video on that you can check out right over here. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this upcoming Babysitters Club series. Are you excited for it? And I need to know, which BSC member did you relate to? I always really enjoyed Claudia, although I have to say in this show I really was leaning more towards Dawn and Marianne. Alright, it is time to introduce a brand new generation to the Babysitters Club. We've got our familiar Stony Brook crew played by a group of very talented young actresses. Sophie Grace is Christy Thomas, the bossy leader of the group. Malia Baker is Marianne Spear, a shy and quiet musical theater nerd. Momona Tamada is Claudia Kishi, the fashionable and artistic one who struggles in school. Shea Rudolph is Stace McGill, the sophisticated New York transplant with a secret. And Sotito Gomez is Dawn Schaefer, a passionate activist from California. Each episode really follows the books in the series, so we get to see each girl step in and narrate what's going on. I think each girl really embodied each character that they were taking on, and that they really grew and went on a journey throughout the season. I was also particularly impressed with their decision to be more inclusive with their casting choices and kind of go outside the box a little bit. They went with more diverse casting choices for Dawn and Marianne, which I really appreciated and I think really worked well with the story. And also, they were two of my favorite characters throughout the season, and it was really nice to see that representation of Black and Latinx actors stepping into these roles. We also get to see some famous faces show up as parents in this show, with Alicia Silverstone playing Elizabeth Thomas Brewer, and Mark Feuerstein playing her love interest, the wealthy Watson Brewer. Mark Evan Jackson even comes in to play Marianne's overprotective father. At first, I thought that was a little bit of a jarring role for him just because I was so used to seeing him as the demon Sean in The Good Place, but I think he actually added a really kind of funny quirkiness to his character as this really overprotective dad. And of course, we get to meet all of the iconic characters from the Babysitters Club universe, from Karen and Andrew, to David Michael, to Morbida Destiny. And what I loved about that is that they kind of expanded on some of these characters, and they just all felt like they had a real purpose and place in this universe. Another thing I really enjoyed was the way that they incorporated sort of that nostalgia while also keeping true to modern times. You know, there's still candy hidden in Claudia's room, you still get that 90s phone line, there's kid kits, there's rhyming pikes, there's Paris magic, all of those things that are brought up or came out of the original books, but also it's spliced up between pop culture references that I think people will really enjoy, from Clueless to The Hunger Games, Queer Eye, Hamilton, and so much more. And I think they really tackled all these references in a way that will be fun for fans of all ages. This is a show for people who grew up with the series and also for newcomers. Now, the world of the Babysitters Club has always been very inclusive and diverse, as well as feminist, promoting female empowerment, entrepreneurialism, female friendships. These values are what make it such a win to adapt today because it feels really true to the Babysitters Club to push boundaries. You know, the Babysitters Club franchise is such a rich and detailed world to begin with, and this new Netflix series does follow the books very closely, so you know what's gonna happen, but at the same time they're able to add such refreshing new details and depths that really take this story to the next level. And there was something about the way that they were able to do that that honestly made me like really emotional. I'd be sitting watching the show thinking, wow, this is really beautifully done, they did such a great job with this, and then bam, the tears would just like start flowing, but like in a joyful way, you know, like in a way that's just like, wow, they really did such justice in bringing this nostalgic franchise that we've all grew up with to life. And honestly, it happened a lot. In episode 4, Marianne Saves the Day. In episode 5, Dawn and the Impossible 3. Those two were specific episodes that I just remember like bawling during and being like, wow, like this is really hitting me in the feels. This is really, really well done. And we get to see the girls deal with everything under the sun. Things that they did talk about in the books, but also things that, you know, times have changed. You know, so you have to add in these more modern issues that people are dealing with or topics that come up. So they dive into starting a business, female friendships, figuring out who you are, standing up for yourself, standing up for others, the haves and the have-nots, honesty, illnesses, acting, activism, bullying, rivalries. We even get a story diving into the transgender experience that I wasn't really expecting, but that was so moving. I think the show is definitely for the whole family. I think if you grew up with it, you're gonna feel that nostalgia, you're gonna, kind of go back to your roots, and it was a lot of fun watching. But it also does a really great job of connecting back to the now, so, you can actually have really important conversations with your kids or something like that. I will say there's probably like two aspects of this show that I think could have been a little bit stronger. I would say the first is, focusing a little bit more on the babysitting and actually introducing us to some more of the characters in this world. For instance, the connection between Stacy and Charlotte was one that I felt was missing a little bit in this series. The other thing is that I think that the actresses in this show really brought it, but there were some times I noticed, particularly with Claudia or occasionally with Marianne, where it felt like they were more acting instead of being in the moment as characters. And I think that just, maybe comes down to they're young and they'll grow into, their craft as actors more. As someone who grew up reading the series, I am so thrilled with it. I'm so happy with how they put it together. Each episode really tied seamlessly into the next. It feels fresh, familiar, and empowering. There were moments where I genuinely laughed out loud. There were moments where I actually cried, like it really brought me back. I'm just really crossing my fingers that this show gets another season and then some. I would love to see even more of the books brought to life. I think the show has come out at the perfect time, and I just really hope that you guys check it out. And if you are a fan of the Babysitters Club, I really think you're gonna enjoy this one. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. If you like this one, you can check out more of my Babysitters Club content right over here, and I will catch you in my next video. See ya! Say hello to your friends, Babysitters Club. Say hello to the people who care. Nothing's better than friends, Babysitters Club. 'Cause you know that your friends are always there.